The Air Jordan 9 Cool Gray returns in March, and in this video, I'm going to go over everything you need to know about the shoes, including where to buy, availability, the release date, and I'm going to do a comparison with the 2012 release. What's going on, everybody? This is Brian from SneakerFiles.com, and in this video, I'm going to go over the 2025 Air Jordan 9 Cool Gray. So everything you need to know about this shoe will be in this video. Now, just to go over the release date. The shoes will be released on March 15th, and the retail price will be $210 in adult sizing, and they're also going to drop in grade school sizes for $160. Now, specifically in this video, I'm going to do a 360 viewing. As well, I'm going to do a comparison with the 2012 release. Unfortunately, I don't own the 2002. I wish I did. I don't know what kind of shape those would be in nowadays. Probably not that great. But yeah, we're going to compare the 2012 and the 2025. Also in this video, I'm going to go over availability, where you can buy them, if they're limited or not, and so many other things. Now, there is a bit of hype for this shoe. They do have a little bit of history as well, so I will be going over that. And now, let's jump into things. Alright, so I've been waiting to do this video. I took a little bit longer to get it out than I anticipated. There is a reason for that, which I'll talk about in a moment, but as you can see, this is my size 10. Well, 10 or 10 and a half is my size. But also, they come with the OG style box, but the box on these is gray to match the shoes. So you already know what these are by the title, but let's do an unboxing. So I did look at these already. This isn't going to be my first look at them, unfortunately. I like to say that, but I didn't do it this time. These are really nice in hand. I do like them a lot. I like the shape on them. The color blocking is really nice as well. As you guys know, this is an older colorway. It's not an OG, but they first dropped in 2002. I'm sorry, the second retro took place in 2012. I don't own the 2002 pair. I don't, unfortunately. But I do own the 2012. Now, the issue I had with the 2012 was that I wanted to do a comparison with this shoe and I couldn't find them. But the good thing is I did find them. I finally got them out of my storage, and good thing is I got a lot of stuff organized in my storage. So what that means is we're going to have a lot more comparisons of older stuff, and yeah, I'm very happy about that. But these are really nice in my opinion. I know some people still complain about the shape of the 9s, but I feel like they did a really good job on these. I'm happy with the overall shape, and these look really, really good in my opinion. Now, you know, as you guys like to know, if these are going to be hard to get and stuff like that, I'll talk about all that later on in the video. I'll also do 360, do all that stuff, but let me do an unboxing on the second shoe that we're going to do a comparison with. Alright, so I got the second shoe here. You guys already know what this is. Jordan 9 medium gray, white cool gray. And as you can see, what retail was $160. Still got the label on it. Now the difference, obviously, just because we're going to do comparison, is at the time, this was like the standard Jordan retro box. But now, Jordan brand's kind of doing stuff differently. They're trying to connect to the OG. This is the OG 9 box, but in a different color to match the cool gray 9s. So, here we go. This is the 2012 release. Now, you can already see the shape is different, and there's things like that. But is it enough, if you own this pair, to be like, hey, I want to get a new pair? We're going to talk about that later on. I'll give my opinion, of course. But I remember picking these up on the release day, obviously a Saturday. These still look really good in my opinion. These look really, really good. This is a shoe I did not double up on. I have not worn these. As you can see on the inside of there's no label. It's actually right in there. I don't know why. I just never wore them. I didn't double up. Usually I wear these. I would have worn them, but I just decided not to. I feel like these are lighter, though, and compared to the 2025 pair. But these are really nice, too. I like these a lot. But yeah, we're going to do a comparison and 360, give my opinions, where to buy, stuff like that. You know, the usual stuff for these type of reviews. Honestly, every time I do a review, I think my favorite part of doing it is talking about the history of a shoe. Now, not every pair has history, and believe it or not, this shoe does have some special history connected to it. Now, this is not an original colorway. They first dropped in 2002. We would see a second release take place in 2012. In my opinion, the shape and quality isn't that great on the Jordan 9s that released around 2012, and Jordan brand in recent years has been doing a better job as far as the shape goes. Now, 2025 will be the third time that this shoe released. Now, why is this pair so special? Well, as many of you know, Michael Jordan never wore the Air Jordan 9 on court until 2002. When MJ returned to the NBA once again, he played for the Washington Wizards, and he wore the Air Jordan 9 Cool Gray. There's also a PE version of the Air Jordan 9 Cool Gray that was made for Kobe Bryant. Instead of the number 23, it has the number 8. Also, it features yellow detailing as well to connect when he played for the Lakers. This was during Kobe Bryant's sneaker free agency. Okay, so it's time to bring you in for a closer look. Let me get you into frame. All right, so this pair features nubuck on the upper. As you can see, we have the unique designs throughout. And then across the mudguard, we have patent leather, and that is done in all gray. And as you can see, it's really shiny. But I really like the nubuck upper on this shoe. I feel like the change from leather to nubuck is nice. Traditionally, the Air Jordan 9 has a leather upper. The Cool Gray 9 has always had a nubuck upper, but I like the feel, I like the look of it. So you can see all the stitchings, the little dimples within, kind of like perforations almost. We also have more patent leather up top, and that pretty much connects to the heel, which we have the globe, which is done in white. The number 23 is embroidered in white. And in the backdrop, we have a lot more patent leather. Up top, we have the pull tab. Hopefully you don't hear, there's a crow right by my window that is just chirping, and it's annoying me. But now on the medial side, we have the same setup as the lateral. We have nubuck on the upper, the unique embroidery throughout, as well as the little dimples, which add a little bit of perforations. I think it's more show than anything. And then, of course, we have patent leather across the mudguard. And then the midsole itself is done in white. But let's bring you to the toe. You can see the translucent toe coming up from the outsole. We got more patent leather around the toe. And then on top of the toe, you got that nubuck. All right. Lower part of the tongue is done with mesh. And then you can see we have Air Jordan on the top of the tongue. White laces, only comes with one set of laces. These eyelets are also plastic, and the lace tips itself are plastic as well. So no metal lace tips. I'm not sure if original Jordan 9s, it's been a while since I pulled my pair out, has metal or not. I do have access to older 9s, and you can see all gray in the inside. I did pull out the insoles, so give me a second and I'll show that. Okay, so the insole all gray with the white Jumpman, and to legit check in the future, here is the opposite side. What does that say? I don't know what that says. I'll probably be able to see it coming back, but my eyes are pretty bad. Okay, so they also come with some tissue paper on the inside. No, like, cardboard shoe tree or anything like that. But let's bring you to the sole. Let me get it in here a little better. All right, so as you can see, we have a smoky translucent outsole, and then we have a large Jumpman, which is done in white. So the outsole on these shoes is pretty special. It connects to the fact that Michael Jordan is internationally loved. The same globe that's used on the heel also connects to that story. But by the toe up here, we have different languages on both shoes that has different meanings. For example, we have French, Spanish, Italian, Russian, Swahili, and some of the meanings include dedicated, force, graceful, sport, athletic, and so forth. All right, so we're going to do a once over, and then we're going to get you to a comparison of the 2012. But in my opinion, these are nice. There is some, quality issues here and there. Nothing horrible. But again, that's going to range because, yes, these are GR. Are there less pairs going to be produced? Yeah, and I'll talk about that more later on in the video. It's just something they do with this model. They produce less pairs and so forth. So, but this is definitely a dope shoe. There's a lot of great releases coming this month though. So it's going to really depend, and I'll talk more on that later on in this video. All right, so now we have the 2012 pair up front. We have the 2025 in the back, and I did go over the shoes. There's quite a few differences compared to the two. Now for this first one, you're going to notice the white on the midsole. It's more of a matte finish. It actually is a matte finish. It's just flat white. Whereas the 2025 actually has like a glossy paint overlay to it. Now I'm not sure why they did that. And in comparison to the 2002 pair, I don't own it. So I'm not entirely sure if that's closer to the 2002 or they just decided to add that in. Also, the Jumpman, as you can see, it's facing towards the left, whereas the 2012 pair is facing towards the right. Now, another thing which you're not going to be able to tell too much is the nubuck on the upper. So, in my opinion, I feel that the nubuck on the 2012 pair is a little more gritty. It's not as nice in my opinion. This one's a lot more smooth. This one just, it's, yeah, way more gritty in my opinion. Is that enough to sway you to buy these? Probably not. But again, we're just going to point out the differences. Now, something else I noticed about the shoe is the 2025 pair, the patent leather mudguard sits a little bit lower. So the 2012 is a little bit higher. Might be hard to tell, but it is there. Also, the triangular like designs with the little perforations in them. You could probably see it, little ones. The triangles are a lot bigger on the 2012 versus the 2025. Now, the laces on the 2025 are a lot thicker in comparison to the 2012. Hopefully that picks up. Some of the stuff is really small and it's, kind of hard to tell. But something you should be able to see is the tongue. So let me move this out the way actually. The 2025 pair, the tongue, it's like this textile woven material, whereas the 2012 actually has a nubuck and then just perforations throughout. Let me see. There you go. You should be able to see that pretty good right there. The top of the tongue also uses some different materials as well. It's like a nylon up top. This is like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like a cloth. It's like a nylon, but it's just, it's different textures as well. So if you know what the different names are called and things like that, please let me know down below. But the inside aligner, you could see as well. There's definitely, it's more like a smooth feel and look to it, whereas this one's a little more rough. It's almost to the point where it's like a wool almost, but not quite there. Now let's get to the heel. So the heel, there is a little bit of a difference. You can see the 2025 right here. It's a little more bulky, actually quite a bit bulky. You can see it in the video. The 23 is also a bit bigger. Now there is some discoloring because these are over 10 years old, so definitely not going to count that. But the 23, the spacing, it's a lot lower to the midsole in comparison to the 2012 pair. Now, to the medial side, it's pretty much going to be the same as the lateral. You have your little perforations or the triangular designs. They're a bit bigger on the 2012 versus the 2025. The nubuck definitely is more, I'm sorry, not nubuck, patent leather. It's definitely higher. It doesn't look higher because, well, actually it does look higher, but you can see the seam right here, how high the seam is. Let me get my finger out the way of my hand because it's focusing on it. Versus right here, you could definitely see there's more patent leather used on the 2012. Other than that, I mean, everything else, unless I missed something, and if I did, you can leave a comment down below. It's pretty much on point. Now, the outsole is going to be a lot darker, but I believe that is going to be due to age. So, yeah, these are definitely nice. The quality on the 2012 pair isn't as bad as I remembered. I'll be honest about that. Some of these other pairs are really bad in my opinion of the Jordan 9s. When you compare it to some of the newer retros, the shape isn't horrible. I don't know. Giving my opinion, if I'm being honest, if I own the 2012, which I do, I don't think that's enough to buy the 2025 in my opinion. That's just my opinion. Now, if you don't own them, then yeah, definitely pick them up. But if you do, which I do, I don't plan on picking these up, to be honest. But still a dope shoe. Both of them are dope. Really, like, the biggest differences are kind of minute. I would say the biggest difference that you can actually see would be the tongue. The different materials used on the tongue. So, other than that, I mean, like, yeah, the nubuck is different, but you can only really tell when you're touching it. It looks pretty much the same. Those triangular designs are a little bit bigger, but again, it's not so big where people are going to notice it. Also, yes, the toe box is a little bit more bulky in comparison. I actually like that look, to be honest, but that's pretty much it. But if, like always, if I miss something, let me know down in the comment section below. Alright, so just to recap, the Air Jordan 9 Cool Gray will release on March 15th, which is this week. The retail price in men's sizing is $210, while grade school sizes will cost $160. So let's talk about availability. Now, these are going to be available at all Jordan brand retailers. This includes the Foot Sites, Foot Locker, Finish Line, JD Sports, Chic Shoes, Shoe Palace, you name it, they're going to have them. They're also going to be available at boutiques and, of course, on the Sneakers app. So there's a lot of spots you can pick to purchase. Now, what Jordan Brand has been doing on the Air Jordan 9 is making less pairs. They're giving it the Jordan 14 treatment. The Jordan 14 isn't a popular model by a lot of people. Yes, there's a lot of people who love it, including myself. But if Jordan Brand made it a big GR, they would sit. Potentially not on certain colorways, and I get that. Now, for this shoe, it seems that they have cut back the stock. For example, we're only going to have adult and grade school sizes available. When I see that, that typically means that the stock is cut down. Of course, there's no preschool and toddler, and I'm not just talking about that, but in general, when it's a full family release, they just make more pairs overall. That includes adult, grade school, and so forth. So the fact that they're only going to drop in adult and grade school sizes cuts the stock down. Now, it seems that Jordan Brand is starting to cut back on stock overall, but not to the degree of where people are saying. I've been seeing so many IG pages and YouTubers talk about, oh, stock's so limited on shoes that were once GRs. You know, what I notice is a lot of these people, they're either following what other people are saying, or these YouTubers and IG pages are resellers themselves. So they're just trying to drive the hype up and get you guys to purchase early at resale, get everybody excited to go after the release. And if you miss out, then hey, they got them available. Seems a little bit weird to me. There's a couple YouTubers that I've been seeing doing it, and you know, I'm going to bite my tongue here. I really don't want to call them out, but in my opinion, what they're doing is wrong. Now, there is some hype for the shoes, don't get me wrong. Now, it's not an OG colorway, but it's an older colorway that people like, they appreciate, and it's the only Air Jordan 9 that Michael Jordan wore on court, at least in a professional game. So you're going to have more people going after them. The Cool Gray colorway is just a popular colorway in itself, but I don't think these are going to go on sale, not at all. You might have a little bit of difficulty getting them. I'm going to be honest, the Sneakers app are probably going to sell out. So what I would do is enter a bunch of raffles, and if you hit on multiple pairs, you don't have to pick them all up, but at least you can kind of guarantee yourself a pair. Now, as for the craftsmanship, since it is a highly produced shoe, they're going to have some issues. Nothing like the 2012 pair, I'll be honest, they're much better. But like, for example, you're going to see little cuts right here, little strings here and there, little glue stains, nothing, you know, bad. Well, you see it right here, a little glue stain, but nothing horrible, you know. We've all seen worse. But if you can go into store and pick them up and just check your pair out, it's probably the best to do. Also, if they sell out online, going in store, more than likely you're going to have a better shot at getting them. But overall, it's a dope shoe. It's a clean colorway. It does have history, so I get why people want them. For me, I'm probably going to pass. Actually, I am going to pass. The reason why I own the 2012, I don't think there's enough differences for me to run out and get them. Aside from that, there's a lot of great shoes dropping this month and throughout 2025. So I need to reserve my money because I am buying a home. So that's already going to be some expenses. And then shoes, which I love, don't get me wrong. I just have other expenses, so I have to pick and choose which pairs I get. But let me know your thoughts on the Air Jordan 9 Cool Gray. Are you picking them up? Are you passing? If so, what are you going after this month? I know for me, the NIGEL 4s is a must pick up. That's my number one for March. I want to thank everybody for watching. This is Brian from Sneaker Files. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe by hitting the button below. As well, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. We're getting closer to 175,000 subscribers. That's a big goal of mine. And then from there, we're going to 200K. Again, thanks for watching. Stay tuned to SneakerFiles.com. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe.